popped out today to see one of our top consultants, Jerry Hammond, to show him the brand new range of Century Stealth graphene reinforced carp rods.
Well, I've been with Century about 5 years now, and I've used like 2 or 3 different ranges of rods, and I've seen this graphene rod here, and I don't quite know what graphene is. Could you sort of explain it to me, what graphene is?
Yeah, basically, mate, it's an addition to the resin matrix. Yeah. So whether you know or whether you don't know, carp rods contain 2 main materials. You've got the carbon that the rod's made out of, and then the resin system, which for want of a better term basically bolts it all together, keeps it strong. Graphene itself won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2004.
Pretty good stuff then.
Yeah, it's one of the strongest, if not the strongest material ever discovered, really. And basically what happens with the resin is we incorporate the graphene into the resin system, which makes it bomb-proof in respect. So all the things that a rod will suffer with, test curve decay, cracking sometimes in the resin matrix, it's just not going to happen with this rod. It's incredibly light, incredibly strong, incredibly resilient, and basically will carry the load between the fibres better than any other resin system on the market. And the first thing you'll notice with this rod is the weight reduction. It's by far the lightest rod we've ever produced, and you'll notice in comparison to the ones you've been using.
Blimey. I mean, you can hold that with 2 fingers, like, you know, you barely know you've got it in your hand.
And that's a 12-foot 3.5 pounder, so that's a powerful rod, that's a casting rod.
It's a lovely build as well, just like all the others. I've noticed that the eyes are a bit different, mate.
Yeah, we've done something pretty special with the classic Century SIC ring set, 50 to 16 on this one. And we've actually had these made from titanium, so they're the only classically shaped titanium rings on the market. And as you can see there, the reason they look a little bit different is we've actually had these PVD coated. They're like an off black, like a gun smoke colour, so you can see they're much darker than a normal ring.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, incredibly light and really look the part.
Are the titanium guides standard on all the rods, mate?
Yeah, there's a standard option for these on every rod in the range. We actually have 2 ring set options. We have the PVD coated titanium, which come in a 40mm or 50mm option. They all come with anti-tangle tip guides, and then at a slightly lower price point we have a new lightweight steel guide, which is black again, a little bit darker black, very similar colour to the real seat, but they're a lightweight steel guide and with quite a big weight saving on the original Century SIC. Coming a little bit cheaper, but still really look nice, and again provide a decent reduction in weight.
Right, we spoke about the blank, and we spoke about the guide options. Can you tell me a bit about the build, mate?
Yeah, it's as you can see, as everyone's come to expect, it looks lovely. Starting at this end, we've got the laser etched black aluminium Century branded butt cap, abbreviated handle, plain black whippings all the way through, and we've just touched this off nicely with these steel grey tippings either side of the real seat and on the handle, which look really nice. Tiny little bit of duple on either end of the custom black matte Alps reel seat. So this is the one that we've used on the C2D and used on the new FMA as well. Hugely popular, really looks the part. And we've got Stealth graphene reinforced logos laser etched in both sides. Blank itself is a new weave. It's a 1K weave, but it's a lightweight 1K weave. So it's again performance based in mind, as well as looking nice. Strips lots and lots of weight out of the rod. Plain black whippings again, all the way through, all the way down. This one's obviously got the titanium guides. We've got nice little steel grey tipping as well, just this side of the overfit joint. And then you'll notice a little bit of difference there to your own rods.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and all the rods I've had in the past have always had like a no weave all the way to the tip, like there's no weave. And on this one, I can see like you've got the weave carrying right way through to the tip eye.
That's it, buddy. So, I mean, aesthetically, obviously, it looks a lot nicer. And what we've been able to do is you've had like a plain ground finish. All the Century rods we've had in the past have had a plain ground finish. It's purely to keep weight out of the tip section of the rod. But what we've got with this new 1K lightweight weave is that we can actually make it look nice and have it woven all the way to the tip without actually adding any weight to the tip section of the rod, or minimal weight to the tip section of the rod. So it now looks nice and performs, it performs as good as it looks.
It's a really light rod. It's stronger than any other rod on the market. So how can this sort of improve my fishing?
Well, believe it or not, mate, the main improvement I would say this is going to make to your angling, other than ease of casting with the tip speed that you're going to generate with the weight reduction, believe it or not, is accuracy. This is not only the lightest and strongest rod currently on the market, it's without a doubt the most accurate as well.
So what makes it more accurate than the rods I've been using?
Well, basically all of our rods feature ATT, which is our anti-twist technology, which is a way that the tip fibres especially are laid down to prevent torsional load and rotation. So I think we were chatting earlier and you said sometimes you found that you cast out, and sometimes the actual, when you really hit it hard, especially with big leads, you can see sometimes that
you look down at your rods and the tip section's twisted.
Yeah, right, okay, so there's obviously a lot of torsional load. Now that is actually magnified more with light rods. So when a tip section of the rod's very, very light, they get more, they're more prone to twisting on the cast especially. And the more you load the rod, the heavier the lead, the more likely it is to happen.
And I suppose that in turn ruins your accuracy.
Well, exactly, right. So you've got different things going on with this rod. So first of all, we've already spoke that the ring set's lighter. So if there's less weight with the rings, there's going to be less weight spinning the rod tip round. Also, sometimes the joint itself might not actually move, but if you was to see some slow-mo footage of your casting, the blank itself, without moving the joint, often, very often, almost all the time, especially with big casting, will rotate and twist to a degree. So what's going to happen is that where we're holding the rod now, if we look straight down the rod, you can see that the rings are all perfectly in line and the line can flow freely through the rings. Once that starts to rotate, obviously then none of the rings are in line.
So you're going to get friction.
You're going to get friction in the rings, and obviously it's going to take a lot of distance off your cast. I mean, you're fishing here today. I noticed you've got a few fish out in front of you, and if you've got to take cast after cast after cast to get where you need to go, you know, especially this time of year, they're going to be gone. So you know, with regard to improving your fishing, you're going to get this in the right spot first time with this rod,
mate,
like way more times out of 10 than probably of any other rod on the market. Definitely any other rod we've ever built. So it's got an improved version of the way that the tip section's laid down, the fibres in the tip section are laid down, and obviously the weight reduction overall is going to stop that from happening.
Yeah, from what I've seen and what you've told me about it, it's an amazing looking rod. I'd like to have a caster one, see it in action, but not here because I'm fishing. So yeah, I'd like to have a go.
Let's go and have a go, buddy, shall we? Get it rigged up, get a reel on it, get a big lead on it, and go and put it through its paces.
Definitely. Well, that weren't too hard, was it? You hit the clip there ages before it landed, didn't you?
Yes, wasn't that much of an effort.
So that was an easy 130-yard cast, and you didn't like...
No, they're not. They're so light, you know. They're just so easy to move that tip section through the air, and you could see he was aiming straight down that big willow on the far bank, and it just goes exactly.
There's no shock leaders.
No.
15-pound line straight through, 130-yard cast done with, to be honest, with ease, wasn't it?
The thing of it is though, with these is not everybody wants a big rod. You know, I use 13 footers, you use 13 footers. This is the 13-foot 3.5 pounder, which compared to some of our other rods, especially the C2D, the SPs that you and I both use, it's not really a big casting rod, believe it or not. It's quite a forgiving 13 footer, but there's loads of rods in this range. So we've got a 12-foot 2.5, which is ultra thin diameter, very light, and a 12-foot 3 pounder. Very similar diameter again, very low diameter. They come with 40mm ring sets, so you can have them in the steel or in the titanium that we chatted about earlier. Then we've got 12-foot 3.25, 12-foot 3.5, and we've also got a 12-foot 3.75, which is an absolute brute. It's pretty much a 12-foot version of the C2D. So when we brought the C2D out, which is the real long range one, we had a lot of people in the UK especially asking for a 12-foot version. So we've actually produced something with the graphene technology, very similar to the C2D. And then we have the 13-foot 3.5 that we've just used here. So there's 6 different test curve options in 2 different lengths, and then each one is available.
Range, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big range, you know. So there's something there for everybody. You know, that's the most important thing. And they're all available either with the titanium guides. Everything that's 3.25 pounds and upwards comes with 50mm rings. Everything that's the 3 pound and the 2.5 pound come with the 40s. So there really is something there for everybody.
Well, you made that look really easy, mate, and I really do like the stealth graphene. So when do I get a set?